Hey, welcome to Grow Global. This organization is for all realtors, regardless of brokerage, so that we can all get together, mastermind, learn from each other, scale, and build our businesses. I'm excited because today we've got an amazing person that's coming on board. But before we get there, let's show you how you stay plugged into Grow Global. And so every Monday, we're doing this amazing mastermind and we're posting this stuff. So first, go to the Grow Global Mastermind Academy in Facebook. Become a member of it so that you can see the upcoming Monday masterminds that we're doing, along with other posts and other collaborative efforts that are going on constantly with Grow Global. The other place you can look is with our YouTube channel, the Grow Global Mastermind Academy on YouTube. You can watch prior videos that we've done, prior masterminds. Then you can go back and take notes and watch even more, transcribe them, whatever helps you build and grow your business. We're never doing the same thing over and over again. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly finding talent among us all to come in and share what makes their business work and why they are successful. So we also have the whygrowglobal.com website where you can look at the upcoming events that are happening. And next Monday, July 15th, we're going to be talking about the NAR settlement, changes taking effect in August. That is going to be huge topic of conversation, something that you definitely want to tune into for sure. We're also going to be talking about how do we work through all of that and still succeed and scale in business. And most importantly, ensure that our commission for cooperation is going to be available to us. So this is amazing. Happy 4th, everybody. Late, it's July 8th. Let's get started with this second portion of the year where we've got a lot to do. And this man that we have on today, David Totten, who is amazing when it comes to YouTube and how you scale your business utilizing YouTube. And David, you're here with us, buddy. Unmute yourself because I hope I get this right. I'm pretty sure I've heard your story before. I've sat in on sessions that you've trained on before. They blow my mind each and every time. But you truly built your real estate business on YouTube, correct?
Well, the most part, yes, ma'am. I have in the last two and a half years.
I love that. I
Yes,
love
ma'am.
that. You know, what's great about that is that people have an excuse all the time about I'm not going to start that because it's going to take too long. How many times do we all hear that? How many times have you looked yourself in the mirror and said it to yourself? I know I'm guilty. I'm like, I'm not going to start doing that. It's just going to take me too long. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. David built his business in the last 2 years utilizing YouTube, you guys, and it didn't take 2 years to see the first bit of income. All right. It took the first couple of postings. So David Totten, come on in. Let's hear about all this YouTube. And you all don't forget to put your contact information in the chat. This is a group of collaboration. It's a group of making referral partners as well, too. So make sure we put that out there. David, welcome.
Thank you, and to the Grow Global team. Several of your faces I have seen and know you. And I just wanted to first thank you for thinking enough of me to invite me to speak to your group. So I appreciate it. And yeah, I was that guy. I hate to make this statement and this truth, but I hate being on camera. Especially when I first got started. I was in a group on an application called Clubhouse. And on Clubhouse, there's a group on Clubhouse called Real Estate All Day. And in that house, we did a video challenge. And what we had to do was create videos for 75 days straight. So if anybody's familiar with the 75 hard challenge, this was it for video. And what we had to do was, out of those 75 days, create 13 videos per day. We had to make several. We had to make 3 for Facebook, 3 for Instagram, 3 in-house. So that's like your processes, 3 external. So if you're going to hire somebody out, and then you had to send 1 personal video to just somebody in your phone contacts. So 13 videos a day. And if you skipped a video, whatever, regardless of what day you were on, you had to go back to day 1 and start over. So I was determined I was not going to start over, especially on day 75. And we had some people that had to do that. But that got me into feeling comfortable on camera, because at the end of it, it was about 800 plus videos that we've done in total. And my first one, some of you all have heard this story before. My first video, it took me 20 minutes to hit record because I just could not remember my name, could not remember what video I was doing. I was doing a property walkthrough for a listing. It took me 10 takes to get my name right. I had dry mouth, anxiety, sweating, which was all because I had the same mindset as probably most of you do who are not comfortable with video. Is I did not like the way that I looked on camera. Don't like the way I sound on camera. I thought it had to be perfect, and nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Well, thank God I didn't listen to that inner voice for too long, because like you said, Miss Stephanie, I think by my 4th video, I got my first phone call from a client looking to relocate to my city. So it took about 2 months into it, and been rocking and rolling ever since. Last year, I think we did 62 transactions or so. All of that was from video, video and referral. So I did.
David, that's amazing. 62, all from doing video. And is that YouTube, social media, everywhere you're posting it, or is it primarily YouTube?
Primarily YouTube. I was doing a lot on Instagram at one time. But the social media thing, it gives me a lot of anxiety. So I just stick to YouTube. And then, I've built an attraction business that way, mostly for clients looking to relocate to my area. And the thing that I love about it is I talk about my city and I sprinkle real estate into it. So, my city is the star of my channel, which is Danville, Virginia, and the surrounding area. And then just happening to be a real estate agent, I can talk about real estate. I can display listings. I can talk about what's going on in the market. But that has really been my bread and butter when it comes to business. It's just talking about the area, because I don't know if it's right to say nobody cares about David, but they care more about where they're going to live than about David Totten. It doesn't matter if you're the best agent and I could talk myself up all I wanted to. That does not get the phone to ring. That just talks about me and what I can do, versus what people really care about is, what is it like if I'm relocating to Danville to work, live, eat, play? What's close by? What's to do? What can I do with my family? What can I do as a single person, as an individual? Where's there to eat? So that's mostly what my channel is about. And I just happen to be lucky enough to be in real estate. So that's kind of put me at the cutting edge of the transformation that's happening in the area, because I'm the only agent in my market that's on YouTube consistently anyway. So there's really no competition.
That's awesome. So okay, let's break this down for everybody. And eventually I'm going to ask you to put your YouTube channel in the chat so everybody can go and check you out and
Okay.
subscribe to you and like you and give you more views and all that good stuff. But so you're specific to, and what's worked for you in growing your business is doing videos about Danville, Virginia. And so talk us through some of those videos. Is it just touring neighborhoods? Give us some inkling of the content you're recording.
So I do a lot of neighborhood tours. I talk and interview a lot of business owners in the area. I highlight, the parks, the walking trail, restaurants. We have a Caesar's Casino opening in December here, which has brought a lot of people to this area, especially a lot of investors, which is a lot of my business too. And I just talk about the area. Like I even have videos broken down to where you go to pay your utility bill, how to get connected into the utilities, where you pay taxes, because people need to know those things before they move here. Because most of my clients are relocation people again. So, I have it broken down to, I'm trying to think like them. So if I'm moving to this area, these are the things that I need to know. Again, work, live, eat, play. And then, I do put some of my listings on YouTube, and that's about it. And if it's new developments coming, which we haven't had new construction here in probably 20 years, and we have 3 new neighborhoods that are starting to pop up. So I have been able to highlight those neighborhoods, and then with permission from other agents in the area that I know, that are not a part of EXP, they let me go do highlights of their properties. So I'm really trying to talk up my market because nobody else is doing it.
That's right.
So I just highlight the city, and it has proven to be successful.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of that too, and David, I know you're going to get into this, but for those of you who don't know much about YouTube as a whole, what's interesting is, one, Google owns YouTube, okay? And so when you're searching a place, you notice when you're just Googling, a phrase or a place, you're going to get information on websites that pop up, but very closely to the top of that are YouTube videos. And that's why, because Google owns YouTube. And so there is an entire generation that only look at the YouTube content because they physically want to see, they physically want to hear, they want that tour. Here very recently, I'm familiarizing myself with an island that I knew nothing about, honestly, didn't even know of its existence. And that's all I've been doing, is seeing the video tours that are occurring on YouTube. And so I can see where, David, especially with you being that only agent in your market that's doing this, you're the guy that's showing up. Like, you are Mr. Danville, Virginia in these people's minds, because if that's how that generation or numerous generations now are using YouTube to search, how easy is that? And here's what's genius about it too, is that there's no cost unless you're hiring videographers and editors, but there's no cost. You did every bit of this, David, yourself, right?
Yeah, starting out, from shooting video to editing was all me. I did wise up and hire a video editor for $55 a video, which is pennies to what I make per video. So, it was a no-brainer. And it's interesting that you brought up, YouTube being a search engine more than a social media platform, because it is, right behind Google. And, I don't want to sound like the bad parent, but my kids, they watch YouTube all day.
There we go. All right. Sorry about that, David.
Yeah, my kids watch YouTube all day long. And I asked them, because I watch some of the content that they consume. Some of it is a little sketchy, but I asked them, why do you watch that? And their thing is because it's funny. So it entertains them. So if you can put entertainment into your video along with education, I think that's where I've been able to win. Because an interesting fact is 400 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. Every minute, 400 hours of video are
Wow.
uploaded. So, I mean, if you think about that, that competition, you got, which luckily I don't have any here yet. But when you think about people watching that much video at a time, especially in, with millennials being the new buyers today, I mean, you can't catch a millennial without one of, well, you can't see it, without one of these in their hand. So if you're in their face, if you're in their ear all the time, YouTube allows me to work when I sleep. I got a call last week from a family in Kuwait looking to relocate here. And it's from YouTube. She told me she watched several of my videos. Just this past week before, we released our 100th episode. So that's about, I don't know, 100 episodes at 10 hours, 1,000 hours of video. So I'm pretty close to where I'm almost able to monetize on YouTube, but that's not why I do it. I know a lot of creators out there are looking to do that, but mine is really to educate and entertain while bringing people to the city. Because the interesting thing that I found out is the folks who call me say, David, we're moving there because of you. So if that's not enough to say, maybe I should try this out, to help bring in extra income, or whatever it is for your business, then, I'm glad that I got started when I did. I did have a long view, because, back in 2019, 2020, we were still voting on whether or not we're going to allow this casino to come to town. So I said, let me look 5 years out, because I want to be the guy people call when they think of Danville and real estate. I want them to think David Totten. So I'm 2 years in now, 100 videos. I've done well over 100 transactions just from YouTube alone. And I'm looking to ramp that up. But YouTube has been a hero for me.
Very cool. So, David, let's talk about, okay, so you're giving tours of neighborhoods, businesses. I mean, you're really, you are Mr. Danville. You're talking about that place. And so agents that are here today thinking about, okay, how do I implement YouTube? You're not doing, or maybe you are you doing individualized house tours, or you try to stay to the broader topic?
Well, I do both.
Okay.
So if it's my listing, it's definitely an individual house tour, no longer than 12 minutes. If I'm talking about a neighborhood, what I'll do is, especially if it's not one of my listings, then I'll just flash some photos from the MLS and give credit to the listing agent that, it's listed by them, but this is what you can buy in Danville for X price. And I know, 250,000 here is going to look a whole lot different than 250,000 in another market. But 250,000 here gets you a really nice home, which is around the sweet spot of my market. 2 to 250 people are buying all day long. But for my listings, I like to highlight those because it's a marketing tool in my arsenal I have other agents don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes that's the deciding factor is, anybody can put a house on the MLS and put a flyer on social media, but what about the folks who don't live there, who are looking to move there, and they want a walkthrough of the house? Where here you go, And you know, my sellers actually love those. That I'm able to highlight their home over other houses in the market. But yeah, so I do broad neighborhood tours at the macro level down to individual houses at the micro level.
That's great. So now let's talk about how you become that person that shows up in that search engine. What are you titling your channel? Is it specific to you as an individual, or is it more specific to Danville, Virginia?
My channel is more specific to Danville, and it's living in Danville, Virginia.
Love it. Simple.
Yeah, because like you said, when somebody goes out to search on Google, they're not searching David Totten because they don't know that I exist. But if they're searching, you know, moving to Danville or relocating to Danville or things to do in Danville, Virginia, 9 times out of 10, you'll see me pop up with a video there, or my Google business page, because that's what I highlight. Again, I don't talk about David. I talk about Danville, and David just happens to be that representative, or that digital mayor of the town. And I was in the grocery store yesterday, and a guy came up to me and he was like, "Hey, you're David Totten. You're a celebrity." I'm like, "Well, how do you know me?" And it's from YouTube. And that's happened on several occasions. You know, my kids are local celebrities too, because they're in a lot of videos with me. So if we're out, you know, people see them. It's like, "Hey, you're the realtor's kids." It's like, yeah. Which, you know, encourage them to start a YouTube channel. And they just make videos on their own. But having that space, you know, for an agent, what I would suggest is to highlight the market where you serve more than you highlight yourself.
Right. You become the recognizable figure, but you've got to highlight what people are wanting to see. And nobody in Kuwait is going to be looking for where's David Totten in the United States of America, right? Nobody's going to
Right.
know that. But
Right.
if they've got job offers and they're looking at 3 different cities or towns or states or whatever that case might be, that's what they're searching for. So living in Danville, Virginia, it makes complete sense. David, let's talk about SEO and content. You know, you're uploading these videos after they've been edited to YouTube.
Mhm.
And how are you coming up with what the descriptions are and everything to say? How are you handling that?
So there are two tools you can use. And me personally, I would recommend, so you have Tube Buddy or you have vidIQ, vidIQ, and then TubeBuddy, one word, TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy has more features than vidIQ does. So what TubeBuddy allows you to do is do keyword research. So, and I know somebody had asked a question earlier, but that's kind of how you know what people are looking for, because there's other content out there. So when you can go out on YouTube into TubeBuddy and put in keywords like your city, it'll bring up a whole list of search terms, which you can frame your video around, or your description around, or your title around for your video. So, you know, I'm getting this search term is getting this number of searches per week or per month. So then you kind of know you're in the ballpark of maybe this is an interesting topic I need to talk about. So then you can frame your content around what people actually want, which is what the YouTube algorithm does anyway, is it serves up content that humans look for that are most relevant to them. So, you know, a good kickoff video, I would say, is, you know, the pros and cons of whatever market you in. So pros and cons of living in Atlanta, Georgia, for instance. I've seen those pros and cons videos get a lot of views, a lot of comments, a lot of traction, because people want to know, don't just give me the good about Atlanta, what are some things that I need to know about that, might be questionable? And it doesn't have to be anything negative, because we don't want to get into any kind of, fair housing issues or trouble, but still, a bad thing could be traffic or distance to the airport. Things like weather. Because I was just in Atlanta, I think last weekend, and it was hot. It was just sticky hot. And uh, I don't know, like it's hot in Virginia, but it's a different hot in Atlanta. And it was 90 something degrees, but it felt like it was about 105 to 110. So, people coming from the Northeast, they might care about that because they're not used to that kind of heat or humidity. So, that can be one thing you talk about. And Atlanta's traffic is horrible. Sorry to the Atlanta people.
They're all nodding, saying, yes, David, you're correct. It's true. We own it. Yes.
But that could be a thing that you talk about as a con. You might be used to a 15-minute commute from home to work. Now it's going to take you an hour to go the same distance. But that might be something that I need to know, if I'm moving to the area.
That's so true. And these are the things that people, that's why they're engaging and watching the video content on YouTube to actually see and hear from an individual, everything there is, the good, the bad, and the ugly. John put a question in the chat. What methods have you found to grow your subscriber base? Because you got to get subscribers, right?
You do. I would recommend that be totally organic, and just let YouTube do what YouTube does and let the algorithm do it for you, because you could run into a situation where you have a ton of subscribers, but none of them are watching your content. Or if they do pull up a video, if they don't watch the whole video, they might click on a video, watch it for 10 to 15 seconds and click off. And then that's going to hurt your channel more than anything, because then YouTube is going to say this video is not relevant. So, I'm not gonna push it up in my algorithm to other people to view. So that needs to be an organic thing. I know a lot of people post their videos on YouTube, on Facebook. I wouldn't recommend it unless it's like a home tour that you're doing. But other than that, you're just going to get people to click on, click off, and it's going to hurt you. Yeah, some people do hire a like an SEO optimizer who will say, hey, we'll get you this many subscribers in this many days. But again, you still have to worry about, is your content being fed to the right people? Because what you care most about is, does the phone ring, and does that phone call turn into a client, and does that client turn into a closed transaction and a new family member that you have as a referral partner? If they buy a house, eventually they're going to have to sell that house to buy another one. So you got to be careful how your content goes out to the world. And I just suggest let YouTube, the algorithm, do what it does, because it'll put your content in front of the right people. Because you got to think about it. You're not a so-called influencer. You're a real estate professional. So all the views in the world won't get you a household or get you a new client. But just let the algorithm do what it does best, and that's put your content in front of the right people.
Absolutely. And John put another one in the question, but I'm going to add to it. He said, is there anything you can do to increase retention and watch time? I mean, I'm not a YouTube expert, but I've always been told, don't put out hour-long videos. No, there's very few people on earth that have the attention span, and I'm one of them, you all. People send me videos all the time and go, watch this. I might engage for maybe 6 or 7 minutes, but there's no way I sit there and watch past that. I don't care what it is. It's something about who I am and how I think. So,
Right.
David, what is that magic time? You said 12 minutes earlier, but is that for everything or is it different time variations depending on what it is you're doing?
I think it depends on what content you're putting out. I would say 7 to 11.
Okay.
7 to 11 minutes is about all you're gonna get out of somebody. And throughout the video, that's where you get, you could be talking, and then it could be walking around town or sitting in an office. But you have to insert what they call B-roll,
Mhm.
or clips that pop up on screen that kind of grab the attention um of your viewer while you're still talking. Or if you're talking about a park or an amusement something or a restaurant, you want photos or video of those elements to pop on screen to recapture the attention, because people do get bored. But if you have something that cuts in the middle, it's like, oh, what was that? You could even get them to rewind and play back something. But every few minutes you want something to flash on TV to kind of keep the attention of the person that's viewing the content.
Makes sense. And somebody's asked if you have any examples that you can show us. I don't know, David, if you'd want to do a screen share and pull some things up.
I could.
Uh, Also, they're asking, do you post in shorts or video? Do you do shorts and videos? Little-
Yes. And YouTube shorts have become quite popular, which I've seen shorts get a lot more videos than your long form, only because I'm not sitting listening to you, talk for 5 minutes. You give me a good 15, 30, 45 seconds of something happening in town, and you'll get quite a few more views doing that. But yeah, and your shorts count toward your video count. So, if I put a short out after this meeting and say, hey man, I just sat in a room with 39 agents, and we were brainstorming on how to best serve whatever. I can put that on my channel and it would count as a video. So it would be 101 that I would have. But yeah, shorts are very popular because they're almost like reels on Instagram. But you can put out something entertaining, educational, whatever it is. But they do quite well.
And I think too, Lana's put something in here. Any specific time to post or not really? I'm going to guess on that. I'm going to say not really because this is about going out on YouTube. I guess for the subscribers, they get alerted, but
They
this
do.
is more important about your SEO and your searchability so that it is a video that gets viewed. Correct, David?
Yes, I'll agree. But if you're thinking about timing, your analytics in YouTube Studio or TubeBuddy will kind of tell you that most people watch your videos at such and such time. So then you could post at that time regularly, kind of like
Okay.
a sitcom. Like your favorite show, it comes on Friday at 7 p.m. So I'm gonna make sure I am in front of the TV at that time, because the last episode left us with a cliffhanger about what's gonna happen next.
Ah.
Kind of wanna post at the same time, however often you think, is it twice a week, once a month, every other week? It's totally up to you. But to gain those subscribers and those views, you have to put content out there. So, starting out, I would suggest once to twice a week, and then you can kind of level off after that, where it's once a week or once every other week. But you definitely want to put the content out there. And I would also suggest creating several videos before releasing your first one, because you have content cached or stored up, and you just schedule it out. So your first 4 to 8 videos will go out on the same day at the same time because it's been pre-recorded. And that's the beauty of video.
That's great. Tracy's got a question. Tracy Wiggins.
Hey, boss lady.
Hey, my buddy. I'm so glad you're on here. You have totally inspired me to do my YouTube channel. So I had a couple questions. I'm driving, so I hope that my signal will stay. Can y'all hear me real good? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Great. Okay, awesome. So I got my channel. Of course, I work 2 states, Tennessee and Georgia. And so I just named my channel Tracey Wiggins Boss Move. But because I didn't know, should I say living in Atlanta or living in Nashville? I wasn't sure. So, but do you think I should change my name? That's question number 1. And I don't know how to change it to represent 2 markets. Number 2 is I did hire someone to do mine because I don't have time. So I do the videos. And I was wondering, I heard you say that your editor charges you $55 a video. My guy charges me $100 a video, but he's also my SEO guy. I mean, like, he does all the search engine. He also posts the videos at the times that he feels is great. And where did I get him from? He was one of my mentees. He had over 165 videos. He was getting paid already. He stepped down to be a referral agent because I think he just wanted to do just YouTube, and he just wasn't getting out here working his market like he should. But I value his knowledge. And so I hired him. I said, okay, I'll give you something that you can help. Because obviously you know what you're doing. You're getting paid from YouTube at this point. But he wasn't getting the client. And then when he first got his client, I ended up getting the client because as soon as he stepped down, a client from California came over $500,000 deal from YouTube, from his YouTube channel.
Okay.
So is he charging me too much? I mean, I just want to know, because I didn't know. I felt like I got to pay him for his time. I know he's outsourcing it. Fiverr may not be charging him a whole lot. I don't know what he's doing, but is $100 a video too much?
So first question is multi-state.
Name change. Yeah.
And the name change. Do you have a nice subscriber count now?
I think so. I gotta look again. I think I do. He talks about how well it's doing. He says it's doing pretty well.
Okay. Well, I mean, so I know the channel name has a lot to do with it, but
I believe it.
Or channel optimization has a lot to do with it too, which is totally separate from your video optimization, right? So your channel is going to have its own set of keywords and its own description. So I probably wouldn't change the name unless you see that the name is not doing as well as you think. And you can only change it once every 14 days. And then when you do that, if you change it too often and it's not something that resonates with your audience, then I think it's gonna hurt you more than help. So I would leave it for now. Just make sure that your channel optimization is, where you do highlight the markets that you serve.
Okay, I think he does that.
And I'm dually licensed too. So I'm Virginia in North Carolina, but my channel is living in Danville, Virginia, because that's home market for me. And I do videos over in North Carolina, but I won't change my name. But in my channel, I highlight those markets in North Carolina that I serve. So those are two different things, your channel optimization versus your video, because video is going to be real specific about the topic that's in the video. Now your second question is, he paying?
So when well, okay. Just tell the truth, David.
Yeah, so he's doing editing, he's doing SEO, and what else?
He's posting. He does everything. I don't do anything but these quick little 20-minute videos of the home that I'm showing. Sometimes I do a topic, whether it be the paint choices for 2024, and sometimes I just do a standstill topic video, and he'll edit that. And then if it's a home showing, I just send him all. It could be 10 different little videos. Put it together, get it edited, the words show up, everything, you know, so he does all that.
So does he do your thumbnail too?
He does everything. I don't do nothing. He
Well,
did my whole, yeah.
well, no, that might not be too much then, because, you know, editing is, you know, for me is 55 a video. If you get a good thumbnail, a good graphics person, that's gonna be probably at least another off of Fiverr, another 25. And then to hire somebody to do SEO, that's another 25 to 45, maybe 50. Plus to get a social media manager is gonna be another, I don't even know what social media managers charge today, but if he's doing all of that at one for $100, I'd probably say he's probably spot on, and you may be getting a deal with him.
That's what I thought. Okay. I would hope that, yeah. I was thinking I was getting a deal at $100 a video, but I thought it was a lot too. And so I just wanted to make sure, is this something that I could do? You know, could I find my own Fiverr guys?
You could, you know, because again, a good thumbnail person is gonna be about $25 per thumbnail. So that's, you're already at $80 then. Well, for me in my case. And 20 for him to edit and post for you and do all the other things he's doing, I'd say $100 might not be too bad.
I'm gonna leave him alone. Okay.
Awesome.
But
Good.
it's gonna depend too. Are you getting calls?
I can't say I'm getting calls right now. We just started about 3 months ago, and I'm not as consistent as I should be on doing my videos on time. I'm supposed to be giving him 2 videos a week, and I fall off. I do fall off, but
Okay.
yeah, it's me.
All right. Well, Tracey, you got to get a system, and you got to do it. You got to be consistent.
Definitely.
That was
I don't think
awesome.
it's him. I think it's going to do well. I think it's going to do well. I think it's doing well. It's just that, yeah, I got to get back on track. But yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure.
David,
Thank you,
Laura has a
David.
question. Do you put in the keywords, hashtags, or descriptions, or both? Can you talk to that?
Yeah, so both. So for your video description, what the YouTube algorithm looks at are the first 200 characters. So what you want to do is, whatever the video title is, you want the title of the video to be in your description somewhere in those first 200 characters. Because that's helping your SEO also. And then whatever your title is and those keywords in your description, YouTube has another thing called tags. So you want those tags to match your title and description also, which helps your video rank a little higher too. So and TubeBuddy does all that for you. And I pay $5 a month for TubeBuddy for the pro membership. And you know, the beauty about TubeBuddy is, as you're going through, you can build templates and you can save your keywords, you can save tags, and all these things while you're going through releasing that video through TubeBuddy. It remembers all of that for you. It even generates a thumbnail. Now I wouldn't recommend using it because it's not going to be as great as having a graphics person do it for you. But yeah, you want to put them in your tags, your title, and your description. But those first 200 characters are going to be key. And then you can hashtag later in the video in your description. But make sure those keywords are there in those first 200 characters.
Awesome. So we've had a few people, and you and Tracey just touched on this a little bit, but I want to answer a few more of these for folks watching. So we've got agents, you know, dually licensed, or they're in a much larger city like Chicago, and they focus on multiple towns in and around Chicago.
Okay.
How should they build that YouTube channel? You know, because they just can't call it one town. What would you recommend?
Well, again, that's where kind of your your channel name and your channel optimization are gonna kind of have to work hand in hand. So for Chicago, I've only been there once. I'm trying to think how you would. So give me some
To
examples.
Atlanta, David, Atlanta, you've been there, so you know many area like Sewanee, Alpharetta, all the stuff. So those are the same situation as Chicago.
Do you go with the bigger city and just
I-
hone in on those certain areas?
I would go with the bigger city. And
Yeah,
then
that's what I was thinking.
my channel keywords, you list those markets that are specific to you. So I think somebody, let me go back in the chat because I think I saw that comment somewhere about
Hey, David.
part of Chicago not being great, South Side.
Yeah.
Now you gotta be
Hey,
careful
David.
because you could get into a steering somewhere and you might not want to. So what yes, Miss Laura, some towns
Yeah.
on
So my thing is, I don't really sell in Chicago at all. I don't go into the city. I'm the
Okay.
southwest suburbs. So I live in Homer Glen. So do I say living in Homer Glen? It's only one town and I probably sell in 20 surrounding towns, but I'm the southwest suburbs of Chicago. So, but who searches living in the southwest suburbs of Chicago? That really, I don't think would work.
Maybe it's the suburbs, Chicago.
Yeah, or I'll just say Chicago. Chicago, well, you know what, let me pull up a map.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll jump in and say this. I say Atlanta, but I do videos and say this home is in Smyrna, guys. I'm in Smyrna today. I'm in Sewanee today. But they know that there's different areas of Atlanta. But I always talk about just Atlanta or even Nashville, but there's different little suburbs.
Yeah, so I would focus like the channel name on the bigger city, but my channel description would include those suburbs because YouTube is gonna know if somebody searches for let's just say Orland Park, for instance, then I want to put that on my channel. And if I could pull it up, I could kind of show you all what I'm talking about. Can I do that?
You should be able
You
to.
should, yeah.
Let me share my screen. Okay, y'all can all see me?
Yep.
Okay, so here's my channel. And then if I go into customize channel, it's going to bring me into my creator studio. And then once I'm in here, I can put in my description, this channel is all about living in Chicago, Illinois, and the surrounding markets or areas or suburbs, whatever it is, and you can list those out. And then there is if I go into my settings, I can go to my channel tab and I can put all of those markets in there. So Schaumburg or Orland Heights or whatever it is, and it gives you 500 characters to list those other markets. Even though your channel is about Chicago, then I have those suburbs listed out here, and YouTube is going to know that. And if somebody searches for, Martinsville, Virginia is 25 miles west of here, but I do a lot of business over there. And people find me because I have Martinsville as a keyword on my channel. Then when you get down to the video level, let's see that. Hold on, I gotta hide my panel. All right, so here I can come over down to the video level. Then we can talk about, your next move to Danville, Virginia, good decision, a bad decision. So, with that, let me pause this. So if y'all can see here, here's TubeBuddy on the right, and it gives y'all your analytics. So then I have all my tags for this certain video, this specific video, which is talking about Danville. And then when you're looking at the description, is your next move. So then right here, are you considering a move? And then your next move, we dive deep into why Danville, Virginia, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, there's my title, there's my tags, there's my description with my keywords in those first 200 characters. And here it'll tell you, you know, these are the things you could do, right? So like on Facebook, did you add chapters? Do you have a high resolution thumbnail? Do you have an end screen? So this is the power of TubeBuddy, and it'll tell you your score here. So it's telling me that tags in title and description, I could do a better job at that because I have a 0 out of 20. When I have, you know, my tags and title there, you know, your next move, Danville, Virginia, your next move, Danville, Virginia. But if I went to edit my tags or my title and got a 20 out of 20, then my SEO score would be 100, which would help the video even more. So this is the beauty of TubeBuddy.
David, do you use any AI as it relates to writing SEO for these videos?
Sometimes I do, which is ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell it, hey, give me, and it's only for research. So it's not the end all be all.
Right.
But it helps put ideas together that you can use. Because I actually had ChatGPT help with this. Now this content down here is static. This never changes. And I have this as a template. So whenever I upload a video, I never have to type any of this content. This is default, but the stuff up here, you know, you can have ChatGPT help with.
Very cool. And I mean, look at it, looks like a ton of work, and this is a lot of work that went into all of this. But in reality, like David just said, a lot of that, you know, is a template. He just copies and pastes it each and every time. And so it's just that individualized video. But again, you spend, you know, when I got started in real estate, I mean, I was 21 years old. I didn't have a sphere of influence. The people I knew didn't have any money. So I spent 3 hours every single day, Monday through Friday, making cold calls. You either make that, you make 3 hours of cold calls, or you put 3 hours of time into building this stellar YouTube channel that's going to pay for itself over and over and over. Because that's what I love about YouTube is that it's forever there unless you delete it or take it down.
Right.
But you've probably got videos, David, that you did week number 2 when you started this that are still giving you business today.
Yes. My pros and cons video, I think is the highest watched video on my channel. And let me go back to it.
I bet if you do, and you might have already done this, David, but if you did a video, why not to live in Danville, Virginia, it would be the most watched, but it doesn't have to be negative.
Absolutely. And I was doing some research the other day on that, and those negatively titled videos actually do the best for some, like why people aren't moving to Chicago.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I need to watch that because I'm thinking about moving to Chicago. But
And you
Lord,
don't have to, you don't have to even talk about why nobody's moving. You just talk about the positives of Chicago.
That's it.
And then you end the video with, now, why would you not want to move to Chicago? It's a question at the end, right? Which is why you gave it the title.
Yeah. So
very cool.
Yep. So my pros and cons video I did 2 years ago has 9,300 views.
Very good. That is awesome. Well, this was amazing, you guys. I feel like we're going to have David Totten back for YouTube part 2 because there's so much that goes into this, and I think it'd be wise to do. So we'll get him back on the schedule and make sure you all are paying attention to those events, because this is something that, again, yes, it's a commitment, but you know what? Every bit of making money and earning a living and building a career is nothing but commitment, right?
Right.
And
Awesome.
Stephanie, I love what you said about cold calling. You make the cold call, you're getting that impression one time versus
Yeah.
putting a YouTube video out. You can get that impression over and over and over again.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why
That's
I
a
think
great- that's a great point.
the time investment in it is just a no-brainer. And then you can also be like Tracy Boss Moves Wiggins, and you can pay to have 100% of it done. And you know what? That's okay too. It's just what can your budget allow? But I mean, think about it. As you go back to today, and Monday after a very long holiday weekend is always busy and crazy, but I know I'm gonna have a free moment today. And that's when you need to make that commitment to, okay, let's start doing this. I've gone back and forth with it. There's things on YouTube that I've done. I do some shows that get put on YouTube, but aside from that, I'm not doing what David Totten has created, and to my own fault. So we're here for a reason. We're here to collaborate. We're here to grow. And David gave us some amazing tools, as always he does. So thank you so much for that. No, this is awesome, guys.
Oh, Tracy asked how I'm dressed like this.
Okay. Because I did one in Nashville, and I came straight from the gym, and I had on workout clothes, but it was a very hot day, and I said that at the beginning of my video. It's a hot day in Nashville, Tennessee, and so I'm reluctant to post that one. I got to hold on, but then I also think about when Jay says you got to show off fast you, don't show yourself always perfect. So I just wondered how you handle that. How would you handle that?
Yeah, people want real, Miss Tracy. And if it's hot,
Exactly.
you know it,
Okay.
workout clothes on, then post a video.
I think the public cares about what you're showcasing, right? I think that's why they've Googled, that's why the video has come up. If they're there to judge what brand of leggings you wore, then come on, they're not going to buy anything from you anyway, because they're not looking for the right stuff, right? So I don't think that matters at all. All right, you all. David, thank you so much.
Okay,
We are going to get you
great.
back on this calendar, and make sure that we keep diving deep into YouTube. I think it's
Great.
huge. And I think with what we have going on, next Monday, I think, look, we as realtors need to discover and find, if you haven't discovered, what true value do you bring to the client, right? Why do they hire you? And maybe YouTube is that perfect place that you can commit to this year, going forward with the new changes coming in August, that's how you showcase your value, right?
Absolutely.
I know what I'm worth. Do you all? We'll find out next Monday. So again, thank you, David. We will see you all next Monday, same time, same link. And thanks for everybody coming back today. Let's go. Let's go get busy.
Let's
Great
go,
job.
David.
Thanks,
Awesome
David.
job.